Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And the video I'm bringing you today, I wanted to show you guys a test that I did earlier today, and I wanted to provide some reasoning behind this test. So, a few days ago, I had a buddy meet up with me, and he goes, hey man, I put on a new build on my Stam BK, I want to try it out. I went full meta. He goes, I'm running Fury and Truth with infused weapon damage glyphs. He goes, we should fight. He goes, I'm hitting really hard. And I said, okay, sounds good. So we fought. And we fought for about 10 minutes. Neither one of us killed each other because, we'd burst each other down and we'd heal through it almost immediately. And we called it off. And I was like, yeah, man, you're hitting pretty hard. You're hitting a lot harder than most of the people that I'm fighting. I was like, but yeah, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I'm at full resources and I'm not, this fight could go on for another 40 minutes. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I think if I put on Venomous Claw and I took off Camel Hunter, would have helped me having that extra dot pressure. And I was like, no, man, I don't think so. I think Extended Ritual's too powerful. And so that's the segue into this video. That guy is not who's doing this test. This is my buddy Dalrook. Little unknown fact about Dalrook is that he is a huge piece of shit. He's a huge piece of shit. And some of you guys are going to be like, dude, why are you being so harsh to your friend right now? This is your buddy, and you're calling him a piece of shit? Well, Dalrook used to run a corrosive dot dueling build in Elsewhere. And so now all of you guys that initially judged me, that thought that I was joking about Dal being a piece of shit, are like, yeah, Dal is a piece of shit. So, in all seriousness though, but he was running a dot DK build in Elsewhere, where he was running Morag Tong and Deadly. And I wanted to test this with him because he has the build for showing the big disparity in this. So Dal is built into dots fully. Like I said, he's running a dot build. And I am running my magplar build that I posted yesterday, where it's Alfiq and New Moon Acolyte on the front bar with back bar Potentates and Undo. And at this point, I'm not wearing Bloodspawn. You don't see a Bloodspawn proc. Anyways, if you watch this video, my Extended Ritual is healing through his Noxious Breath and his Venomous Claw. Now, if you remember, guys, in Dragonhold, they adjusted Venomous Claw to where Venomous Claw now always provides the poison status effect. So those two applications are actually 3 dots now. And so what we're seeing here is even fully buffed, with the highest, one of the highest potential dot builds out there on one of the classes that is best suited for dishing out dot damage against a magplar that is traditionally squishier than just about any other magplar you're going to see in open world PvP. 3 DK dots equals 1 Extended Ritual. And we've talked about it before. I've talked about Extended Ritual quite a bit. I don't want to keep hashing on it. I'll go into my part, but when you have El Lobo and he's talking about dots, and he's talking about how dots aren't doing much damage relative to healing, this is what he's talking about. 3 DK dots, fully buffed with a DK build, like a dot build, is 1 Extended Ritual. When you have NessESO talking about damage mitigation, basically saying hey, it's way too easy to build damage mitigation. I have Minor Protection and Potentates on my back bar with 21k resistances. This is me putting Bloodspawn on now so I can buff my resistances a little bit more to show you guys, how much more can I take on 4 dots by just standing there with Extended Ritual. And I'm going to keep building up resistances to show that to you. That's why, when we talk about, all of us collectively talk about how this is just a tankier meta, this is what we're talking about. And so it gets expounded even more, let's just imagine yourself in this situation, right? You wake up tomorrow and you're like, man, today I really want to be a cheesy piece of shit like Elsa's buddy Dalrook, and I want to run a dot build, you just wake up and that's what you want to do. And that's cool. That's fine. You wake up, you put on this dot build, you go in open world PvP, and you run across 2 magplars. And so you're running the full 9s, you're running Noxious Breath, Venomous Claw, Blood Craze, Trap Beast, everything. You got your 6 dots on your bar, right? Well, if you run across 2 magplars, which you will, open world PvP, there, magplars is at least 40% of the population on Xbox NA. I'm pretty sure it's roughly 40%. If you fight in any outnumbered situation and you run across 2 of them and they stack Extended Rituals, their Extended Rituals are going to heal through all of your dots. because the healing stacks. And so they don't have to hit Breath of Life. You know, they don't have to do anything like that. Their dot damage is going to get healed through by the stacking of these two extended rituals. And so when you fight a 4-man group of magplars, a 5-man group, a 10-man group, you know, and there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 magplars, and they're all not dying because they're so tanky. The reason they're not tanky, or the reason they're so tanky, is because they're taking 2 to, you know, 1,500 to 3,500 heals every 2 seconds per extended ritual. And so, and it's for free. You know, it lasts for 24 seconds. Once I cast it, it's on the ground for a while, and it's this huge radius. And I've talked about it before, and I've compared it to Vigor. In Elsewhere, you know, when they came out with the Scalebreaker PTS, which was right after Elsewhere, they came out and they said, hey, we will no longer allow the stacking of Resolving Vigor. It was too powerful of a heal. It was too easy for stamina builds to stack heals on top of each other and heal through everything. And, you know, most of the people, like, I think people were kind of indifferent towards it from everything that I was reading. Like, some people complained, some people were like, oh, this really need to happen. Most people were like, I don't give a shit. You know, it's Resolving Vigor, it's healing me, whatever. Like, that's all that matters. So they felt, my point is, they felt that Elsewhere level Vigor was an issue, and the stacking of it was an issue. So then they buffed, now, they buffed Purify, and Purify now is basically Elsewhere level Vigor. You know, it's probably a little bit weaker. It's not exactly apples to apples. It's probably a slightly weaker heal, depending on the class that you're on, but it is a way larger area of effect. It's a way bigger space, and it's a way longer duration. And so we're talking about a heal that lasts 5 times as long as the old Vigor. That is, what, 2 to 3 times the size of the old Vigor? And that's the disparity that I have. You know, it's you know, they felt like this healing was an issue for Vigor, but they're not looking at extended rituals heals. And so my point with this video is to call to light that extended ritual right now, even for a squishy magplar like what I'm running, is worth 3 dots. You know, 1 extended ritual heal is worth 3 dots. So if I'm running across a dot spec, I don't even have to purify 2 dots, 3 dots when they put them on me. It's when they put on their 4th or 5th dot where then I have to purify and remove them. You know, so it's not providing the impact. The heal itself will offset that sort of thing. And so I think we can all agree that that's kind of, you know, out of whack. And I think we can all agree that, you know, that there needs to be adjustment in one way or another. I wouldn't look at nerfing the heal too much. You know, maybe I would look at nerfing the overall heal 20%, 30%. And I would stop Extended Ritual from being able to stack heals. So if you got 5 people, you know, only 1 Extended Ritual on the door can heal you. You know, or maybe you have it only heal the caster. You know, there's multiple different ways to do it. Or maybe the Extended Ritual circle only lasts on the ground for 8 seconds or 10 seconds. You know, that way you have to keep casting. I would rather not go that route because that's reducing the heal a lot more than what I'm saying because it's expensive. I'm just proposing that, you know, the stacking of all these is problematic, and the heal in and of itself, by itself, is very, very powerful. And if I was running a full spec healer build, you know, where I was running a damage mitigation set with like Sanctuary, you know, maybe it's 4 dots, 5 dots, 6 dots equals 1 extended ritual, you know, where I'm not getting impacted by the damage over time effects because the heal from there is so strong. If I throw on Troll King, it gets even worse. Like, I can just stand here and do nothing, and if I drop below 50% when he applies 4 dots on me, my health bar is going to go up because it's going to proc Troll King. You know, there's a lot of issues with this healing, with passive healing. I have no problem with, like, healers being powerful healers. Like, when we run across them all the time. You know, I respect good healers. There's nothing wrong with a guy being on his shit, knowing what he's doing, being very powerful, because, you know, he knows how to run a healing rotation. He's smart. He looks at the upper left-hand screen. He sees somebody at low health, and he goes and he applies heals to that person. Like, that sort of active healing is good. It's good for the game. It's good in general. It's the passive healing via Troll King and Extended Ritual that I think is problematic because, I mean, you don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just standing there. My character's standing there. I could have got up to get a beer at that point. You know, maybe I went to go get a beer and, like, then I came back to quick heal, and I'm still just getting healed through 3 dots. So that's the point of the video. This will be my last video on Extended Ritual. I promise there will never be, well, at least not until the PTS and, you know, they potentially make adjustments. But I will not post another video about Extended Ritual. And then, like I said before, guys, I want to apologize. This was my fault. You know, as a content creator, I'd like to try and like piece down my videos to make them maybe 10 to 20 minutes at a time, because anything longer, like, let's be honest, nobody wants to watch a video that long. Not too many people do, not unless like you're at work and you just want to hear something in the background. So I try to make my videos smaller, and that's why I keep posting about Extended Rituals, because I could talk about all the different impacts. I could talk about, you know, how they're different. I could talk about, you know, damage mitigation in PvP, all these sorts of things. And then finally, when I get around to testing it, it warrants its own video. And so this entire test is, the first one is my build without Bloodspawn, and then it's the build with Bloodspawn, you know, the full build that I posted yesterday. And then the last portion here is when I took off Crafty Alfiq and I put on Buffer the Swift to be a little bit tankier. And so you guys can just go and you can see, you know, exactly how much damage I'm taking, how much healing I'm having just by standing there and you know, absorbing dots. So that's the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I appreciate any comments or feedback. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.